Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Red Alert Labs, the video number 107. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been working now for 18 videos on discussing the documentation which is called CIS Critical Security Controls version 8, which is a documentation provided by the organization of Center for Internet Security, which is an organization that focuses on issuing security recommendations for securing operating systems, different operating systems, different applications, and securing networks in general. And one of these documentations issued to secure networks in general, it is the one talking about protecting yourself against cybersecurity attacks. So we have discussed now for 18 videos this documentation. This documentation contains 18 points how you can secure yourself against cybersecurity attacks. We have discussed until now 9 points. Today we will discuss point number 10. In short, the previous 9 points, the first point is to make an inventory of your enterprise assets hardware. The second point is to make an inventory of your enterprise assets software, including operating systems. The third point is to protect your data when it is in rest and when it is in transit. The fourth point is to establish, maintain, and secure configuration of enterprise assets hardware and software. The fifth point is to account management, or to have a system for account management. The sixth point is to have a system for access management control. So to control access to resources, you need to have a system to access or to control access to your resources within your network or within your domain. This is the sixth point. The seventh point, and to monitor, of course, this system. The seventh point is to have a vulnerability management system. Okay, to how you can manage vulnerabilities, scanning them, discovering them, when to or the time frame to fix vulnerabilities, how you can do this, what software to be used. This is the point number 7. Point number 8 is audit log management, how to manage your logs within your environment, where to store them, if you need to apply or to activate audit options to get more details from the logs. Okay, and you need to have a centralized location to collect all of your logs from all of your devices. This is the point number 8. Point number 9, which we have been discussing in the previous video, which is called which is called email and browser protection. Okay, so how you can protect your email clients, email servers, browsers. You protect them against, or to protect them so a cyber attack will not happen or will not happen because of these things, because the weakest point within an organization is the programs facing the internet. So the programs facing the internet are the email clients and the browsers. So you need to secure them so to protect yourself against cybersecurity attacks. These are the 9 points in brief. Today we will discuss the 10th point, which is a very simple one, and actually it will not take much time from us in explaining it, which is malware defense. Okay, you need to have a strong malware software to protect your environment from malware viruses and viruses in general. So let's see a little bit of a brief here about this point, so we can go further and go to the 10th point, malware defense, and open this. So you need to prevent or control the installation, spread, and execution of malicious applications, codes, or scripts on enterprise assets. This can be done using malware software. For example, McAfee, the one that I was using in my environment, it was an antivirus and an anti-malware software at the same time. So to protect yourself against malware, you need to apply or to implement a malware and an antivirus application, okay, to use it within your environment. You can use McAfee, and also there is the Windows Defender which is installed by default or come by default with the Windows operating system, it's not that much powerful. It's less than, for example, McAfee or other antivirus companies, but Microsoft is developing this software day by day, and now it is included in the cloud. So it's not only included in Windows operating system, but it's now in the Azure cloud. So it's called now Microsoft Defense. So it is developing, okay, and they have using some AI mechanism to make the Microsoft Defender more intelligent in scanning for malware. And actually there is another system called Microsoft Sentinel, which is a logging something called SIEM system, which is a very powerful tool. It will scan all of your or it will monitor all of your logs, and there is any suspicious activity, it will redirect you to this, or to focus on this behavior or this malicious activity, and it will take actions. So Microsoft Sentinel and Microsoft Defender, now they are much more developed than the previous years, and it's now not only included within the operating system, but it's now in the cloud. You can use it to make a cloud protection solution, antivirus and malware protection through the cloud. And I think most of the companies are now working with such solutions. Anyway, so to protect yourself against malware, you need to have a strong malware and antivirus application in most of your devices. And other thing is to control the softwares that a user can run on his machine, and also to control the installation of softwares done on the machines. And you should restrict installation of software only to the IT team, okay? And we can, and I have discussed before, how we can, through the group policy, to apply the app locker, which is a feature that restrict the user to use certain softwares on his machine based on a whitelist provided for the app locker. So the app locker has a list of the programs that are allowed to run on the machine of the user, and any other software not included in this whitelist, it will be blocked. So this is the app locker feature, and I have discussed before the recommendation from the NSA, or National Security Agency of the United States, how you can apply app locker in your environment, what are the best configuration, and actually it gives you also the tools to implement this app locker group policy very quickly. So to protect yourself against malware, you need to have a strong malware and antivirus solution, to always update it, okay, to update it automatically, of course. And also this is done through a centralized location, so you need to apply a malware and antivirus solution within your environment, and all of the anti-malware and antivirus programs on all of your machines should be updated regularly from a centralized location. How is this? By making an antivirus server, okay, and from it will communicate with all of the antiviruses programs within your environment and update them. Something like Kaspersky Center Solution, for example, or McAfee EPO, or something called Orchestrator Policy, something like this. This is like a control panel, or a panel. From it you can manage all of your antiviruses within your environment. So let's see what the CIS says about this. So it's saying we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 steps to protect ourselves, or to have a good mechanism for malware defense. First of all, to deploy and maintain anti-malware solution. This is normal. You need to have a strong software for anti-malware protection and antivirus. This should be deployed and maintained. What I mean by maintain here, maintain to make it always up to date, because there is some security issues maybe related to this kind of software, and these security issues are fixed by security patches. So you need to have a mechanism for updating your anti-malware software, and this can be done using a an anti-malware or antivirus server. So you have a server, install on it an anti-malware and antivirus control panel that it is provided to you by the company. For example, we have McAfee e-policy orchestrator or Kaspersky Central or Kaspersky Center. This is a software that will communicate with all of the Kasperskys installed within the environment and update them regularly. So this is something to maintain your antiviruses up to date by applying security patches and by also updating signatures, or to update the viruses and anti-malware list within the software. So this is the second point, to configure anti-malware signature updates. So to update your antivirus or anti-malware software with the latest malware fixes or malware cures. For example, if there is a malware that appeared, you need to have its anti-malware. So this is done by updating your anti-malware list or viruses list. Okay, so this is thing to configure automatic anti-malware signature updates. Disable auto-run, auto-play for removable media. We all know that most of the anti-malware or viruses come from removable devices, or by installing malicious software from malicious websites. So to control downloading malicious programs and software from malicious websites, this can be controlled using your firewall by applying network URL based filtering, and to have an app locker policy to control what software a user can run on his machine, and also to apply using a group policy, or to restrict the installation of programs by applying a group policy to only the IT team. And one thing also is to apply or to disable auto-run autoplay. So to disable auto-run autoplay, this is something that when you install a flash, this feature called auto-run autoplay, it's a feature that will run a program or will run a video or media. It will run automatically when you put the flash or the CD-ROM or the DVD in the device or in your computer. So sometimes the viruses are attached to an auto-run or auto-play feature. So as soon as you plug the USB, the virus will run automatically through the auto-run or auto-play feature. So you need to close or disable auto-run or auto-play feature from removable media. Okay, and also not removable media like USB and DVD, but also in the fixed hard disks within your network. This is also recommended by the Department of Defense of the United States to secure Windows 10 and Windows Server. This was included in their recommendations to apply a group policy to disable auto-run and auto-play. So this is the point number 3. Point number 4, to configure automatic anti-malware scanning of removable media. To have an option or to configure your anti-malware software to scan removable medias automatically when it is inserted in the computer. Like it's like a rule or like a configuration to automatically scan removable media as soon as they are inserted or plugged into the machine or the computer. Okay, I think this can be done through McAfee, through Kaspersky. There is a lot of things actually, or I think this is by default in most of the antiviruses and anti-malware software. Okay, this is point number 4. Point number 5 is to enable anti-explosion features. This is a kind of malware attack that takes advantage of some memory or RAM of your machine to attack the RAM of your PC or the memory of your PC. Okay, so this is some kind of attack used by malware to attack weak points within your RAM or within your memory of your PC. How we can fix this issue? By applying a mechanism for protection called DEP within Microsoft, or something called Windows Defender Explode Guard. These two things are enabled by default when you install Windows 10 operating system. You will see when you are installing Windows 10 operating system that DEP option is enabled and Windows Defender Explode Guard is enabled. Okay, then Apple something called System Integrity Protection or SIP and Gatekeeper. And by the way, also one of the recommendations of the Department of Defense when you are securing Windows 10 and Windows Server is to enable these features. And also there is a complete PDF for securing Windows Defender. Okay, so you can see the recommendations of the Department of Defense to secure Windows Defender, okay, or to secure Windows 10 and Windows Server. It talks about these features and how you can secure Windows Defender, how you can enable some configurations in Windows Defender to make it more or to make it more stronger in protecting your PC. Anyway, so you can use this feature in Windows 10, and I think it is enabled by default. Windows Defender Exploit Guard and DEP. I have discussed this before when I was talking about securing Windows 10 based on the recommendations of the Department of Defense, Windows 10 and Windows Server. Okay, so this is point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is point number 6. Point number 7, to centrally manage anti-malware software. So you need to have a server that you install the application of the anti-malware on it, and this anti-malware software, it's like the control panel that will control all of the anti-malware agents and clients on all of your machines in the domain. Centrally manage anti-malware software. The last point, use behavioral based anti-malware software. So this is a kind of anti-malware software that it will investigate any changes within your operating system, and if these changes are malicious or not known or suspicious, it will block the program doing it, even though the program or the anti-malware software doesn't have a cure for this. Or for example, let me have a solution. If there is a new malware that is trying to infect your machine and the anti-malware software doesn't have a cure for it, he can still protect you. How is this? By monitoring the suspicious activities done by this new malware, and then it will block it from changing or from doing any harm to your PC. This is called behavior based software. There is some anti-malware software that use this mechanism to scan for the behavior. It doesn't have a cure for the malware, but it scans for any suspicious behavior and it will block this behavior. For example, a program trying to change something in the operating system, it will block it, okay, even though, as I said before, it doesn't have a cure for it. This is done by Microsoft Defender. It's now especially the one integrated within the Azure cloud, and Microsoft Sentinel, they have the same, or they work with the same mechanism. So Windows Defender, or what was previously called Windows Defender, now it's called Microsoft Defender, it is completely working with something like this. There is a part of the Windows from the Microsoft Defender, something work with this, the behavioral based approach, and also the Microsoft Sentinel or the SIEM solution work the same, analyzing the behavior within your system, especially the changes done to the system. So it will monitor the activity related to changing settings and configurations to your operating system, and see if there is any malicious software or malicious activity done to change these settings, especially if they are not from unauthorized programs. Okay, so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 points to have your malware defense. We have said you need to apply a malware defense mechanism or a solution within your environment, to apply app blocker group policies. I've said before, the NASA or the National Security Agency of the United States have a very good PDF how to apply this app blocker solution, to disable auto run and autoplay, to have exploit features enabled, to centrally managing your antivirus and anti-malware programs within your environment through a centralized location by applying an anti-malware server that can manage all of your clients, and use behavioral anti-malware based software. So this is the 10th point from the CIS security controls version 8. Until I see you all in the upcoming video to discuss another point, or point number 11. Hope this video is informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.